Good evening, Canna Fam. Hope you had a wonderful Monday. Today I have an old friend of mine. We spoke a few months ago, and it is a podcast that I love in Oregon, and it is the Hippie Speedball Podcast. So whenever we talk, it goes very fast because we just BS and smoke, so I'm very happy to have him on, and let me get him in. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I have a lot of questions for him. Because I did hear some good news from him recently. What's up, Hippy? Okay, let me get you in. I'm having some issues today with the phone, which I will get. No big deal. Always something, you know.
Oh. Hold on, let me flip my camera around, buddy.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Oh, shit.
You're all right.
What's up? What's up, beautiful world? What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. You know, I was excited today because it's been a while since we got to talk. And yeah, and I know when we talk, it goes by like 10 minutes. You know, it's like we smoke and the show's over with.
Yeah, I remember the first time we did this, you were like, you know, normally I have questions, but for you, fuck it, I'm just gonna roll with it. So yeah, I'm glad we never even met, but we already have that vibe. I fuck with that a lot. That's what's up, man. How's your day going, bud?
It's going good today. I got a lot of work done today, and I was finally able to sit down like just about now, where I could actually relax and smoke. I was able to catch in a couple sessions here and there, but now I can relax and smoke.
Nice.
So I'm happy.
Good. I'm glad. Oh, it was all right, man. My freaking my stomach's been like fucking with me because, not gonna lie, I ate pretty good for Father's Day yesterday. Like I ate pretty fucking well, a lot better than I normally do, and so my tummy's like feeling it today. So I think it's about time for like a 24 to 36 hour fast. You know, I do those like you know like once a week, once every other week. I do intermittent fasting, so I'll do longer ones every once in a while. And so it kind of helps like, reset like my stomach a little bit. If I like go on like too much of like a carb or a sweet binge for a long time, kind of just like resets the palate, you know.
And that helps you physically. You feel it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Cool. For sure. Well, because like, I don't know, for me personally, like if I eat like a bunch of junk food or like a bunch of sweets or something like that, like I feel like it never really goes away. So if I eat any more food, it just kind of piles on and piles on and piles on and piles on. So if I just don't eat for like 24 to 36 hours, it just kind of like just resets everything. And also gets rid of like the bloating that comes from like consuming too much salt or something like that. True. You know, it's like you step on the scale, you're like, there's no fucking way I gained like 8 pounds in one day. You're like, there's no way that's even physically possible. But that salt and that water retention's a motherfucker, man. Yeah. What you smoke from?
Mm-hmm. Now, I was on one of your posts probably about a week ago, and I saw that you went into a dispensary and they were playing the podcast in there.
Yeah. That's actually, shout out Khalifa, man. They're the ones that have the social club that we just did the episode at. Yeah, they've been playing the podcast for a minute, actually. They've been biggers of the show. They're my shop I go to all the time. They're like right down the road from me. And so they've been really big supporters from the very, very beginning. And and they've been playing the show in the lobby, and it's been a trip because now I'm actually playing in 3 out of the 4 major dispensaries in my area. So slowly just kind of like expanding it out. Yeah, for sure.
It's growing. It's getting there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Especially like locally. No, it's all good, bud.
I paused for a second. So, since I think it's been probably about 5 months, 4 or 5 months is the last time we talked, and
that seems about right.
Yeah, in that time, how much has happened for you?
Oh man, a lot, a lot has happened. But Well, I mean, me and my first off, me and my media team, Shelby and Betsy. Shout out Shelby and Betsy. Definitely go follow Shelby at Consciously Captured, all one word.
Okay.
You can find him. You can find him in the descriptions on some of the episodes, and I've tagged him in a couple things, and also you can find him in the links and everything.
Cool.
Been getting a lot closer to my media team. Like we have a lot of content that we're working on right now. A lot of cool stuff in the works. Been expanding who's playing it kind of in my area, like I was telling you about. So, yeah. Oh shit, what's up, Timmy? I said, oh shit, and what up, Josh? That's what's up. That's actually my buddy Josh is coming. This is tragic. He's a good buddy of mine. My buddy Josh, actually, he does a freaking podcast too. Shout out to Die For Podcast, and he's another one that he started. I was helping him with his audio a little bit, and then now they freaking got a whole new setup and stuff, and I'm super proud. Awesome. Super proud. It's like watching my child grow up. It was awesome. Yeah. That was my baby. It was awesome, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
but yeah, lots of big things have been happening, bro, because I became a partner to the Budtender Awards in Las Vegas. And I just got to go to Vegas, and I was, at these parties and stuff, and got to do tons of networking for the show, and I met all sorts of really great freaking people. Yeah, no problem, Josh. I met all sorts of, and it's been really, really crazy how much people have been liking the show. Yeah. And I found out a perfect way to describe the podcast. Okay. So it's I posted this. So for anybody that's watching and hasn't seen this clip, so it's have you ever been smoking a bowl or having a cup of coffee with somebody, and then you're chilling, and then you end up learning something you didn't even realize you wanted to know? Mm-hmm. That is the Hippie Speedball Podcast.
Yeah.
And finally came up with this way.
I can relate to that because every show that I have, I learned something. Every show.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's cool.
And so I've been really, really blessed with people that have been really digging the show. It's kind of taken me by surprise. And I met some really awesome people in Las Vegas. I got some really cool things in the works. I'm going back for the second round of the Budtender Awards in September. So it's in the end of September, beginning of October. I'll be going back down there then. And then I'm also going down next month for the Las Vegas Cannabis Awards. Shout out to them. Awesome. And I'm going to be working with the High Budtenders podcast in Las Vegas. Anybody watching, go follow them after this freaking stream. After follow the Hippie Speedball Podcast.
Yes, definitely follow Hippie Speedball Podcast. That's awesome.
And tragic.
Congratulations.
Coming from mine. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, brother. Man. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
Let me ask, man. At the awards in Vegas, did you happen to run into Very High Vlogs? She's somebody that I follow, and I know she went there to the Budtender Awards also.
I might have. I met a lot of people, and I was drinking and I was smoking a lot.
Yeah,
so
it was all
a lot of people that I just kind of chit-chatted with and everything. But I very well could have. There was a lot of freaking different influencers and stuff and people and
how many
and
people
just crazy.
Do you think were there at that event?
Oh man, because so the way it was done, and it was like an so they had a kickoff party at the Mandalay Bay where Travis Barker was performing, and it was a freaking blast. Yeah, it was really cool, and he was playing with DJ Spider and Jaden Hostler and Hunter Malone. There are a couple of performers that were there. Jaden Hostler just did a song with Travis Barker, but they had a big kickoff party there, and then it was like a convention, like an expo. And so they had vendors, and they also had a thing called Canna Pro Wrestling, where they had a professional wrestling circuit. They set up a ring there in the freaking expo center, and they were doing that. I got to meet some of the wrestlers. That was really dope. And so, and it was just a lot of fun. And so it was an expo thing. So I think in total there was probably, I don't know, definitely tens of thousands of people there for sure. Definitely. Yeah, maybe not all at once, but
I get what you mean. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was great, man. It was so awesome. I met so many amazing people doing so many crazy things in the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
This one guy, he was talking about this hemp shoe that's got seeds in the sole, and it's this. It's pretty crazy, but yeah, I can't really describe it. I don't want to do it injustice.
Because I hear so many things now from cultivators on things like extractions and stuff like that I have no idea what they're saying, but it sounds awesome and cool. You know what I mean? It's the way they're describing it. I'm they're finding out so many new things about the plant and what can be done, and the medicinal properties. So it's cool. I do think we've came a long way, and we're headed in a good direction. I do think so. I hope
Oh,
so,
yeah.
federally, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. I think now one of the biggest things is, keeping the corporate side of it, controlled, keeping those motherfuckers at bay because they're going to try to come over and, like the same ones that would put us in jail are going to try to be our bosses all of a sudden. And we got to make sure that we have a gigantic middle finger up and then we can go tell those people to go fuck themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I had that in my mind. I also had that it would be going to the tobacco companies eventually. I had a pharmaceutical company. I have so many different reasons in my mind that like scare me when it comes to it. But I do think if it was legal federally, at least we're covered. Canada covered. So it's legal. So, I wouldn't, from what I know right now, I wouldn't go buy like a corporate, like something because I hear a lot of, since I started this project, I hear a lot of bad things that happen at dispensaries, at grows, nothing specific, just things I hear about mold, about things that, that plant goes into tincture sometimes, that doesn't get thrown out, just certain things that are kind of scary that I haven't researched even. But I see the love and I see the difference in the cultivators that love doing it and that take their time in it, and it's totally different,
Well, yeah, it always shines through when the passion is, put into the plant. Like it always shines through. That's why I always say passion and karma just go hand in hand with cannabis. Absolutely. They really just go hand in hand. I mean, how many times have you run out of weed and then a freaking next thing you know, a friend just like texts you out of the blue and said, "Hey, man, I got these blunts. I'm gonna come smoke them with you." And you're like, "What?"
Yeah, it happens
it's like
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
But it only happens whenever you're people like us that will smoke our last bowl with somebody. It's like, I'll smoke my last bowl with a person. I'm not a selfish stoner at all.
Yeah, so that's where the karma comes in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's for everybody. That's like that's why you have the circle. You pass it to the left. You know what I mean?
I read a quote a couple of days ago. I forgot whose page it was on, but it was something that said, "A circle of cannabis smokers. If a stranger comes in, they will not keep the circle closed. They'll invite the stranger in, and they'll pass the joint to them." And it just made me think, that's how cannabis smokers are. They'll welcome you in with open arms. It's
they
not
should.
like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at you, what color, what race, but no, come smoke, no matter what you are.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, especially now that, we're like, getting legalized and stuff like that. We're seeing, like I've said before on the podcast, like we're seeing all these people that we've been fighting the battle with, it's like we're all popping up out of the trenches all of a sudden being like, "Oh, hey, I didn't know you were over here." And, "Well, your boots are muddy too." It's like everybody is kind of realizing we were fighting this battle together, which is really great. We need to keep up that camaraderie and keep up that sort of vibe. Absolutely. And like, it all going so that way we can keep that corporate side under control like we were talking about. And then also keeping growers protected, because there's a lot of people that are like like mainstream people that are like taking genetics and freaking mislabeling it as something else, and then not giving credit to the producer, and there's a lot of growers getting super screwed out of their contracts right now with landowners. That's something that needs to be freaking talked about. Like, like there's a lot of people that, they'll try to switch it up at like last minute just because they had a really good yield or crop. It's like, no, motherfucker. This was the arrangement we had, or they're freaking literally having like slave wages for their lead growers, Like I know freaking lead growers that were getting completely screwed by the landowners to the point where they wanted to step out of the industry. It's like, that kills me. Like someone that's been growing forever and they just got basically pushed out by greed.
I talked to people in Canada, and it's legal over there somewhat. And the government sells a certain amount of weed, and what I was told by certain people is the growers that sell for the government, they sell on the side to make their money. That's how it is. That's how they usually do it over there. Because you're not making, what are you getting, a salary for the government doing it? It's like, that's when it gets corporate, when they take the best growers in the country and they have them working for a corporate company, which I hope never happens here. I hope there's a union, something like that, when it comes to growers, and they stick together.
There'll be some that'll turn to the dark side. There'll be definitely lots of growers that'll turn to the dark side. But like we said earlier, karma and cannabis go hand in hand. So that shit will be dealt with in the long haul. It'll happen. you know. And so luckily, you know, like we're going to go through a time where we're going to see, you know, a lot of greed and a lot of shit that we don't like, but then we're going to see all that stuff be dealt with, and we're going to see everything come back up because I don't know. I just think that us weed smokers, we throw the right kind of energy out, you know, and it's like the butterfly effect.
We do, and I also noticed that the people that are full of shit, we usually catch that fairly quickly. You know?
Right away.
Yeah.
Right away. Because also, like, you know, we've been having to smell that for a long fucking time, so we can smell bullshit from a mile away.
Yeah.
Like, we can, you know, we've been having to spot narcs before when, you know, things were legalized.
Yeah,
so we've been having to keep vigilant forever.
Yeah. So that helps. That perspective helps now in legal life, you know, and business life. But so what episode are you on the podcast right now? Do you count them?
I was counting them for a while. I stopped counting them. I think so. Hold on, let me think for a minute. I think probably like just under 40, like 35, 40, something like that. Because I remember like finally taking a break after like, you know, like over 30 weeks. You know, I was going like over 30 weeks nonstop with the podcast, and then I finally was like, oh shit, I need to take a break.
And
finally.
How often were you doing it? Twice a week, once a week?
So I'm releasing them once a week, but also, you know, like finding guests and promoting it and like working on the editing and stuff. Yeah, because, well, especially because me and my media partner, like we both have families. And so we, you know, we need to like kind of work with like files and stuff. Plus we have other things that we're, you know, working on right now. We have other video projects and stuff. We have a really fun one that we're working on. I'll tell you about during the stream if you want. But it's you know, like, yeah, I think I'm on like, between 35 and 40, something like that. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little big. I lost train of thought there for a second.
Yeah, I'm going to start season 2 next week. I'll have season 2 started. Yeah. You know, season 1 was kind of, I was going through a lot and I was growing, and I have to tell you, from the last time I talked to you until now, I'm a different person, man. It's just being on IG and meeting all these different people from different countries and different perspectives totally changed my view on who I am for the good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, brother.
Yeah, I learn a lot. Like I said, I learn every day. I've met some great people that when I'm down, I could actually talk to, and we could bring each other up, which is awesome. You know?
Hell yeah. And that's so important. That's so important because we live in a world where everybody's trying to drag people down all the time, man. Yeah. And we need to be surrounding ourselves with people that are going to lift us up, because I say stagnant water breeds moss, and you need to surround yourself with flowing running water.
I get it. Yeah, and that's, you know,
and so like, and it's important to be surrounding yourself with positive people, like you've been doing, like I've been trying to do more, you know, and then trying to drop negativity before it, you know, eats you alive. You know, you got to treat it like a cancer. You got to cut it out before it kills you.
That right there. Last week I had a rough week because what I was doing is I had a series of negative things happen to me. So every time I would have a negative thing happen, I would deal with it, start to focus on the positive, and I was getting like rained on by negativity pretty much. So I was beat down for like a day. So by the end of that day, though, I never like to go to sleep in that feeling, you know, in that like bitter, angry feeling, just like hopeless, not hopeless, but just irritated and irritable. And what I did was that night I was able to speak to some family, speak to some friends. I was able to be honest with myself on what part I played in the bullshit. And after that, I mean, that's a big thing. When I look at myself and I'm like, actually, you were 50% of this problem. Once I point that out, it actually helps and I feel better.
Well, yeah, dude, and that's so healthy. That's so healthy, too. Like, I'm really glad that you're doing that, because being objective about, you know, roles that we play and the decisions we make, you know, like, is so important, because we got to be able to understand those so we can fix those things in the future, you know? And I like what you said about going, like, not wanting to go to sleep with that sort of mindset, because that's super dangerous. That is way more dangerous than people realize. Like, that will ruin relationships. That'll ruin your mental health. Like, you know, like, it'll fuck things up. Like, I don't ever like to I don't ever like to leave the room. I don't ever like to end the day. I don't even like to end a phone call on a bad note.
Me neither. I'll give you an example why I said that. Like, I was having an argument with my mom and my sister. And before the night ended that night, I didn't like the way it ended. I had to call and say, Mom, I'm sorry. You know? Just because I get weird, like, what if something, God forbid, something happens, and this is the last conversation we had, and I was an asshole, you know? And,
Yeah.
And she gets it, too. You know, she yells at me. We get into arguments about stuff. She's old. She's in her 70s. But she knows I always do that. You know, and she does also. So that's kind of an understanding we've had for years.
Yeah, man. I get in arguments with my mom and my sisters all the time, so I totally feel that. Actually, I was the only boy in my house. You know, like my mom was a single mom for my life because my dad, was a truck driver, and I grew up with my sister, so we fought freaking all the time. And it's crazy how much of an emotional hold your family can have on you.
Yes.
Like even when you don't want it to, it's like one little argument can just like fuck your day up, and it's like it just rips apart like a childhood like a paper cut. And it just freaking, like, it's like, it shouldn't be this gnarly, but it's irritating as shit.
And when
Sorry, you're lagging there, bud. I can, oh yeah, I can hear you now a little bit. Yeah, you were cutting out a little bit there. Now you're frozen. I'm get the wheel of death again. Now you're moving a little bit. Yeah, it's
you want to jump back and come back in? Do you want to go out and come back in?
it moved a little bit.
Do you want to come out?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's much better. Okay. Yeah.
So what I was saying is I used to speak with my mom in the morning, and I would be it would put me in such a negative state of mind that then when I was starting my day, I was shaking literally sometimes. So what I do now is I meditate, I listen to music, I write, I do my post, and then I do that. Then I check on my mom. I'm finding the little things that help, basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's like if talking to somebody is like mental exertion, you got to stretch yourself out before you work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you gotta stretch out your mind, your body, and your soul. No, I totally know how that is. I got to be in the right frame of mind to talk to certain family members too, and so like I gotta like, and if I'm not, then they like you said, like it just gets to you real quick.
Yeah.
But if you can put yourself in that right frame of mind, weed always helps a lot. And I'm the same way. Music, writing. I'm a musician. And I also but it's funny as it sounds, one of my favorite things to do that really just kind of helps me get in the zone is actually just to turn my brain the fuck off, because my brain is going constantly.
Mine
so
too.
the times I'm able just to freaking turn it off. What's that?
How do you turn it off?
So I look into a lot of like Zen, meditation, like Zen Buddhist meditation.
Okay.
And then with like mantras and stuff like that. That helps a lot. Mantras help a lot too. That helps me the most, but it's different for everybody. Just kind of putting yourself in this frame of just not really thinking. I mean, or sometimes I'll just literally just kind of just relax just in the quiet, and just kind of shut my brain off for a minute. It's like I don't ever get to do that because I'm constantly working on something.
But
even in my free time, even in my free time, I'm still working on something.
Yeah, me too.
If I'm not taking care of my kid 24 fucking 7.
So Like when you do that, like how long do you try to do? Just maybe 15 minutes, half hour, hour?
I try to take at least, 15 minutes to a
Okay.
half hour out of my day if I can. Whether it be like early, I get up really early in the mornings. So generally, I'm always the first one up. I get up long before my kid. She still gets up super early though. But like, yeah, usually I'll like try to do it in the mornings or whenever I get a chance.
See that sounds, the 15 minutes sounds a lot more workable, manageable for me. So tomorrow, I haven't been hitting 15 minutes. What I've been doing is getting up. I'll listen to something like motivational before I do anything, and I'll kind of lay there for about 10 minutes before. But the stuff going through my head is all what's going to happen throughout that day and what my plans are. So really, that's what I have to focus on, the nothing for those 15 minutes, and then get into that everything else.
Yeah.
One
the first technique that I learned, and I'm probably going to butcher this, so try to find the YouTube video if you can. I can't remember, but I'll try to explain it the best way I can. Is like you sit there in a comfortable position, like at a good posture, just very nice and comfortable, and you think of like the first thought that comes to your mind, right? And so imagine if it's a sad thought, right? And then you try to think of a word, just one single word that describes that thought. And then you just, let's say you're thinking of the word sadness, and you just repeat it over and over and over again. And what I was doing is I was imagining the word literally just coming forward and smacking me right here. And it was like sadness, sadness, and then disappearing. And then eventually the feeling that you're having only becomes the word. And then eventually you can just push the word away. And then all of a sudden that feeling is gone. That thought is gone. And then you do it with the next thought that comes to your head. And you just focus on that word until that feeling is gone. And then the next thought. And the next thing you know, you're just kind of in this spot. And you're just kind of in this, that's the first technique I ever. Yeah. So thank you. I'm glad. I was trying my hardest.
No, really.
I was like,
so basically you're kind of saying that the word, it loses its weight to it after a while.
Yeah, exactly. Or it kind of like the word takes the weight of the emotion, and then you're able, because we deal with words all the time, we're able just to push it away.
Yeah.
And so kind of like it gives you more power over that feeling you're having.
I get it. I'm going to try that for sure.
Give it a shot. Worked really, really well for me. And I would just, have to sit just kind of in a quiet area, and just kind of get my brain just kind of like chilled out for a minute. And I remember the first time I was ever doing that, my friend was like in the next room, and then I finally came, like after I was done, I walked in there. I was like, how long was I out there? He's like, bro, you're out there for like 45 minutes. I was about to check on you. I was wow. No shit. I didn't even realize I was like, I must have had a lot on my mind.
Yeah, right.
Because like at that point I was just like in a completely different spot, But it's crazy how much of just like even a few minutes of just like some controlled breathing will just lower your blood pressure.
Yes, I do that.
Experimented with it. It's crazy.
It is. And it makes me realize that so much is mental. It's like once we get that mental part, we're fine, but it's so hard to do that. That is so hard to do, to control the mental.
Yes.
That's the battle.
Yeah. It's very, very difficult to do. But that's why it's so important to have the right mental diet, to consume the right things mentally, because if you don't, you're going to feel like shit, It's just like if you eat, like for me, I ate the wrong foods yesterday. This morning, I felt like complete and total shit. Okay. And so like if I were to consume the wrong mental diet, then I'm going to feel like shit mentally.
It's the same concept. So, yeah, that's what everybody needs to understand. What you put in your body, that's it. Your food, what kind of drugs you're putting in your body, what female, what male, like that's all gonna affect you. What words you hear, what music you listen to, who you're around. That's why it's so important. It's so important to keep guard on that, on where you want to be, and if the situation that you're in will get you to where you want to be or not. And that was the hardest thing for me that I had to do. Drop my friends, drop my girlfriend, that was the hardest thing. But if I didn't do that, I definitely would not be talking to you right now.
I feel that, bro. I feel that. There's certain things you have to drop and certain moves you have to make, but then you realize that because you shrugged that off, now you can run a little faster. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Hmm.
And so once you kind of shrug that stuff off, you just fucking just get moving, you know? It's like, that's why, after 30 plus weeks, I needed to take a break because like, I'm like a fucking freight train, I'm just like, go, 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 go,
So,
go. And if someone can't keep up, they got to get the fuck up off the tracks. I hate to
right?
be rude about it, but they do,
I get it.
like, and it was unfortunately a situation I've had to deal with numerous times in my life, like far before I started the podcast,
Hmm.
and it's like, I can't really, you can't do that shit anymore,
No.
What you smoking on, bud?
What am I smoking on right now? I'm smoking on oh, I have it right here. I'm smoking on Layer Cake live resin. 83%.
Nice.
I'm telling
Hell
you,
yeah.
I don't buy the live resin cartridges that often, but it is gas. The live resin in the cartridge.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
If it's done right with the right producer, what is that, a select cartridge? It looked like a select box.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, select is popping. It's so crazy. Like they're huge. Yeah,
Okay.
I've chilled with a lot of their reps when I was working as a brand ambassador because I used to work with this one company called Northwest Kind. They
Oh,
were a
cool.
big cannabis company over here in Oregon. I was one of their brand ambassadors and stuff.
Yeah, I was really surprised, man, because I popped it in. I took 2 hits, and I don't usually buy live resin, and 2 hits, and I was like, whoa, I feel that. So I've been
Well,
pumping on that.
the live resin, you're getting all them terps, man.
Yeah.
When you get that live resin,
I'll do a review
super
on it
terpy.
tomorrow. Tonight.
You're doing a review on it tomorrow? Nice.
Tonight I have
So I'm
some
just
Purple Sunset. I'm going to roll up a joint of Purple Sunset right now.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's what's up. I'm smoking on some Pineapple Express right now from Williams Wonder. Shout out to Williams Wonder for always providing such fucking dank ass bud.
Nice. So
I like theirs because theirs burns really well.
Oh, it does?
What's up?
You say it burns really well?
Yeah. It burns really well because like if it's like sometimes if it's like not flushed completely and there's still like chemicals in it, that's why it won't like turn gray. It'll turn black instead.
Yeah.
And like yeah. And like theirs always burns really, really nicely. It's the perfect for like joints and blunts and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
It's yeah, top notch. I really like it, and it's always like for like a good price too. They grow really good bud.
Good.
And they have good grow methods. That's important, very important.
Very, yeah.
But yeah,
how far are you from
live
Portland
resin
again?
What's that?
How far are you from Portland again?
Oh, like a 20-minute drive.
Oh,
not
yeah, you were
even.
close. That's right.
Oh yeah. I grew up in Portland. I just recently moved over this area I'm living right now, but I grew up all over Portland because Portland. For those that don't know, Portland is kind of divided in like 4 different areas. We have northeast and southeast, and we have northwest and southwest. And like northwest and southwest are kind of the like the downtown areas, and then furthermore is like these areas called like Beaverton, this area called Hillsboro, this one like area called Aloha.
That's where
these would be kind of like little like suburb areas outside, and then there's like the Ritchie areas, which are Lake Oswego, Westland. That's where like celebrities move to when they move to Portland. They don't move to Portland; they move to fucking Westland and Lake Oswego. And then Southeast Portland is lots of culture, lots of energy. My hometown is Southeast Portland, and Northeast Portland. Same exact thing. Lots of culture, lots of great energy. Very gentrified. It's definitely where more of the black community has been. They got very, very gentrified, and now it's, there's a fucking Hot Lips pizza, there's lots of shit like that. And then like lots of that moved over to the deeper southeast areas and then pushed further up northeast. So it's like there was kind of this area right here and then this area over here, or like in the northeast and southeast, and then it kind of like pushed this way and then pushed further this way. So like
I got you.
Kind of just did, those are the main areas in Portland, and I grew up all over, like I grew up southeast, and the only place I didn't really live is northeast. But I hung out a lot in Northeast. I went to church up in Northeast Portland.
Okay. Now, I talked to 2 other people in Portland. I talked to Elizabeth Love 420. I don't know if you follow her. She's in Hillsboro, I believe. And then I talked to 420 Princess. and she is 2 hours the other way of Portland from Hillsborough. She tells me. Now she has a cannabis and a cannabis and a corn farm, and she has a medicinal license. And what happened was when they went wrecked there, it kind of messed them up a lot. So they were doing well when it was medicinal, and then it went wreck, and things kind of. So this year she's selling corn. So those are the other couple people I know in Oregon, and the way that they speak of Portland, they kind of speak of it as if Portland is separate from any other part of Oregon, like totally different. Is that true? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Like, actually, it's funny because Oregon is actually mostly it's only a blue state because of Portland and Eugene and now kind of Salem, not really, but like those areas like are definitely like they sway it. Like Oregon has a really bad history with racism, like a very bad history, and so does Portland too.
Oh,
Like both
really?
of them have a very, very gnarly history with that. Yeah, Portland is very separate from the way the rest of Oregon actually is.
Okay. And what is going in as far because I haven't watched the news in about.
Hold on, pause that 1 second, man. You got real quiet all of a sudden. 1 second. I can barely hear you. 1 second. I don't know what happened. Give me 1 second, bud.
How about
Did
now?
you plug in like any headphones or anything by chance?
No.
No?
Hold on. How about now? Tell me if I'm any louder.
What's up? No, it's weird. It's like you're coming out of like it's like you're coming out of like my phone speaker. Like if I were to talk to you on the phone,
I have a mic I could plug in, actually.
well, I think it might be my phone or something like that. Give me 1 second, bud.
Okay.
Let me flip it around. 1 second. Okay, I can hear you better now.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got you back.
Now, the thing that I like I said, I haven't watched the news in about 4 months, and the last time I did watch it, there was a lot of stuff going on still in Portland. Is that over with, or it's still kind of chaotic over there?
Honestly, I know there's still regular protests going on, and there's still, like regular demonstrations that happen and stuff. But honestly, I've been keeping my ears elsewhere lately. So I don't know. I can't really like. There's been lots going on for sure. There's still a lot going on in Portland. Yeah, there's definitely still a lot going on.
Okay. Yeah, the thing that shocked me, man, was her family, 420 Princess. She got sick from drinking water because it was infested with feces. And then she explained that it was legal for the homeless to defecate and urinate in the street. And I didn't know that. And I didn't know that. Basically, that shocked me because that's how she said her whole family got sick from that.
What's really funny is that this has been going on forever. Like, it's like the homeless problem in Portland has been bad forever. Like, the homeless
So
problem
way
in Portland.
before we've been hearing about it.
Oh, long before. Long before.
Okay.
It was because also we had this mayor, his name was Sam Adams. And Sam Adams basically told a lot of cities, like, hey, we have a lot of resources here. Send your homeless over here. Like, and so, literally, like, busloads of homeless people were showing up in Portland.
Oh my God.
Shitloads. Yeah, shitloads. And with not many places to really go, it's only because it's really easy it's not really easy, but it's easier to get government benefits in Oregon than it is in most other states. Like, they're a little bit more lenient about it. I don't know exactly how, but yeah, so Oregon's really known for that. We're really lenient a lot with our benefits and stuff. So obviously if you're homeless, I've been homeless. So if you're homeless, you want to be on food stamps. So you want to go to the places that you can get food.
Yeah.
So boom, go there, And also, Oregon, Portland has a really famous, culture for also it used to be really known for more of a hippie kind of element, kind of more of artsy element, and then it became way more hipster and then really extremely political. political, and then it just kind of became like this really weird energy that even all the locals were scratching our heads like, what the fuck happened? You know?
That's why I brought it up.
But I think that's another thing that draws a lot of people here, because we're very accepting of a lot of different people here, you know?
Yeah.
Even though like Portland used to have like one of the largest skinhead gangs in the United States. Not a lot of people, know that.
Wow. Well, I'm hoping that everything dies down.
Oh, I can't hear you again, bud.
Whoa.
1 second. 1 second, man. I lost audio completely this time. 1 second.
Hear me?
All right.
Hear me?
No, I can't hear you at all. That is so weird.
Mute button on the top left. On the top.
I can't hear you, bud. I'm sorry.
How about now? No? Okay, I'm going to type to you.
Still can't hear anything.
Okay.
Sorry for those watching.
Yeah. We will.
Can't hear anything, bud. I'm sorry.
Talk.
1 second. Let me see. Should I try leaving and coming back, maybe?
Yeah. We only have about 10 minutes left, so leave and come back. Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know you can hear. He was having problems on his end. I don't know, but we've already been going for about an hour, so we're going to close it out when he comes back on. We were talking about cannabis in Portland and the podcast and stuff like that. So let me get him back in. And hopefully this works.
I can hear you now.
Good. Okay.
What up, zombie?
Hey, zombie. We only have about 12
zombie,
minutes left.
zombie. And we got Harley Quinn. What's up, people?
Harley Quinn. Okay. We have about 12 minutes left because I don't want to get cut off, but it always goes by so fast when we talk. You know.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, I got to have you on again soon.
Yeah, for sure. Did you have any more questions about the podcast?
I have a shitload of questions about the podcast. Like, okay, so
well, let's do lightning round.
Are you doing it on YouTube also?
Yeah, yeah. I'm on YouTube.
Okay, I downloaded a lot of lives today, so I started the Tragic America YouTube channel, and I'm going to be putting the best lives on the channel. So that's how I'm going to start my
Hell
YouTube.
Yeah,
it's going to have
awesome,
IGTV lives, and it'll have some cool content that's not on Instagram.
Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking dope. Congratulations.
Yeah, cool.
It's going to be awesome. I'll definitely subscribe.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. So I was working on it today. I'll have it more set up in the next couple of days, and then I'll start posting for people to subscribe to the channel.
Hell yeah, bro. I can't wait to see it, man.
Did you get on Clubhouse? Are you on Clubhouse?
No, I'm not. I'm actually not on Clubhouse. I've been hearing lots of things about it. I've been putting a lot of energy on just doing new things for the podcast, like some new kind of some like new stuff, and then also trying to build up this Instagram too.
Yeah,
because I'm like learning new things all the fucking